Well, we had an opportunity last week to step back, step away from it, focus on SMU. It wasn't an open week or off week. There's no such thing as an off week or an off day in our program. We did have an opportunity to focus in on ourselves, and that was the biggest message to our players. Go back and very few times during the course of the season do you really get to go back and study yourself, especially at the midpoint of the season. See what you're good at, see what you're not good at, focus on things you can't control, focus on getting better, getting rid of some things that maybe we're not as good at, exploring and growing on things that we've done really well. So, you know, that was I thought it came at the right time. We were healthy coming into the open week, and outside of just the typical bumps and bruises that everybody gets, and so we're able to get even more healthy than what we've been. But we've done a really good job of that for the first 6 games and during fall camp. Had an opportunity to go back and focus in on our Houston performance, and did not think we played well at all. Was very disappointed after watching the film in all phases. I thought we did do some good things, but overall we did not play as well as we've been playing, which was disappointing. I thought we had too many penalties that extended their drives and some key third down moments and eliminated some drives for us. We never could get in sync. We never could get the momentum on our side. The moment we would have the momentum, we would lose it in a few plays, and that was disappointing. Whether that was a missed field goal, a missed extra point, cut the lead to 22-19, and give up a short kick and a bad return, and 2 plays later they get the momentum right back. So you never could get into sync. When the defense would create a turnover, an interception in the past, we've done a really good job of scoring points off of turnovers, and we were unable to do that as well. So left a lot of points on the field. We punted the ball really well. Those are some things we're doing really well right now. We punted the ball well. Right before half, I think it was 5 minutes and 7 seconds to go, and Jamie does a great job. Again, we were unable to capitalize on a turnover, but we turned and flipped the field and punted the ball and pinned them, and only to give up a 95, 96-yard drive. But yet get the ball right back, go down in 1:07, and get a call that goes against us where I thought we could have first and goal inside the 5, and we wind up having to try a field goal and to miss it. So again, hard to get into rhythm, hard to get into from a play calling standpoint. We had too many missed tackles. We were very inconsistent on the back end again. Inconsistent in our linebacker play, which I've been very disappointed in, and challenging these guys this week and during our open week. So those are things we got to go back and refocus on last week, and that was good. We've been one of the best red zone offenses in the country, and to have the ball inside the 25-yard line 3 times in the final 7 minutes of the game and unable to come away with any points, again, those are things you can't do when you're on the road playing. But I did feel like that this is a really good football team that we have, and we didn't play to our standard. But going back to last year when we lost a tough game in Tulsa and went into an open week, a chance to reflect on ourselves, we came out and played our best ball the final stretch of the season, all the way up to the last game. And so I expect no different. I think this is a great opportunity for our players. We're traveling to Cincinnati against a team that's much better than what their record indicates. I know they're 2-5, but let me just tell you, of the 5 losses, their opponents have a combined record of 27-3. They've lost to Michigan, Navy, Marshall, UCF, and USF. Those are all top teams in the conferences that they're in. And so this is Coach Fickle's first season at Ohio State. I've played against him when he was at Ohio State, and we played against each other in the Orange Bowl a few years ago. I think he's an outstanding defensive coach, an outstanding coach that's building his program. It's his first season there. So he's going through the building stages that we went through and continue to go through of changing a culture. He's got 2 great coordinators that are as good as there are in college football. He's got a defense that's big, especially across the front. They're very active. They got 6 starters returning. They're the #1 pass defense in our conference right now, and I think they're in the top 35 in the country. They do some really good things. They do a great job being active and very impressive, especially in their front 7. They do a good job of mixing up their coverages. On the offensive side of the ball, I know that they've had their ups and downs, but when you watch them and just the consistency, when they're consistent, they are as good as anybody we've seen. They've got a quarterback, Hayden Moore. I know they've alternated in and out, and I know he went out last week, and I expect him to be back this week. I think he's had some elbow problems. But again, their record doesn't indicate, I mean, I know they're averaging 20 points a game and about 330 yards a game. They got 5 returning starters on the offensive side of the ball. But, you know, when you go back and you start looking at these things, and especially coming into an open week and focusing on ourselves, you worry about SMU. And I've said that since the day I was hired. Our biggest focus, our biggest challenge is about ourselves. And getting better, getting more consistent in some areas that we've got to get consistent in. We're healthy, that's a plus, but we've got to become more consistent. I think that going back and reflecting over the last 6 weeks of the season, there has been some really good things we've done. I think from an offensive standpoint, I think we're one of the top offenses in the country. I think we've played that way. I know that we didn't play and put the points on the board that we needed to 2 weeks ago. But I think you got a wide receiver core that's as strong and as good as there are in the country as well. I think you got an offensive line that's playing extremely well. We got depth at running back. Our culture's never been stronger in our program. I think defensively, when you have a chance to go back and self-reflect, you got a defensive line that's active. We got a lot of depth. They're very disruptive. They're playing well. They're playing really well. And you're doing some good things when you're one of the top teams in the country and creating sacks. So there are some good things. We got to create some more consistency. I think Jordan Wyatt is playing as well as there are as anybody in the country. I've challenged Jordan this week. He's got to become more of the vocal leader. He's on our leadership committee. Excuse me. He's a great player, but the challenge for him is to grow his game, to get himself better. He's got to become more of a vocal leader. His play backs it up, but we need him to be more assertive in taking on that vocal role. We got to improve the production at our linebackers. We're missing too many tackles. I think Kyron Mitchell is playing extremely well. He's produced, of all the linebackers, he's probably been the top production guy. But we got to have more. We got to demand more. And that comes from everybody. That's not just the linebacker group, that's everybody. That's every coach in the program. We got to demand more. We know where this program is heading, and no one's taking their foot off the gas right now. The DBs have been very inconsistent. I've been very disappointed in the overall play there, from our safeties to our corners, although I think Mikel Onu has played well. I think Rodney's played well at times, but just the lack of consistency has been a concern. And we're going to move some guys around. We're going to have a few position changes, shake a few things up, try to get some guys' attention. And we've got to become, to get to where we want to get to, we've got to become a little bit more, a lot more productive in several key areas there, and being more consistent would be a great start. So you'll see some of that. I'm not going to discuss what we're moving and how we're moving, but I will say you'll see some of that. If anything, to get some guys' attention. Special teams, I think, when you look at our special teams over the first 6 weeks, it's a much improved unit. I've been very, very pleased with the improvements. Well, we still got a long way to go. I think we're doing some good things. We're punting the ball extremely well. Our coverage unit has been good. We had a breakdown last week in a key moment of the game, and it was not a scheme. We should have avoided out instead of we avoided in a couple positions there. But that happens at times when you're out there and in the heat of the battle. But we got to become a little bit more consistent in there. But And then the biggest thing that I would say right now that is an area that has to improve is we're leaving too many points on the field. We've missed entirely too many PATs, and those things can't happen. Those things get you beat. If anything, you lose just the momentum of you scoring a touchdown, and whether we're not protecting right or whether we miss a kick, whatever it may be, we've got to get those things shored up. And we were able to focus on that, work on that last week. So hopefully see that improvement. I think this week is going to be a key week for our program, a key week for our players moving forward. Obviously we got many big games ahead of us, but this is the only big game we can control. It's a Cincinnati season. That's our only focus, is to be 1-0 in the Cincinnati season. And to do that, we got to be the best we can be today on that field. And I think you'll see that. I know our guys have a great edge about themselves, and that's our challenge to them. So with that, I'll open up for questions.
Chad, you talk a lot about response, especially in moments of adversity. So after that Houston loss, what would you say was the team's response during the bye week?
A really good week of practice. One of the things that we had to focus on, we got to get some more guys out there. We got to. Cortland Sutton can't play 75 snaps. Trey Quinn can't play 75 snaps. It just can't happen. We can't have, Sosa playing 70 snaps. Those things just can't happen. Nobody benefits when that happens. As a matter of fact, when you need the production of people to step up the most in the fourth quarter, we're unable to do that because we're not as fresh as we can be. We've got depth. The challenge last week to our staff is to put some of those younger guys in some key roles during practice, as we've done, but we really stressed them last week. I took a lot of our high mileage guys that have gotten a lot of reps and let them get a lot of the individual work and work their techniques, and then we pulled them back in good settings, which we did quite a bit of. We wanted to see the younger guys go after it. Great response last week. It's been incredible, and I knew it would be. That's who we are. That's what our culture's all about. I wouldn't expect anything different. Our guys came right back in here the day after that we lost the game, and they were focused. They were the energy level was high. They knew that we gave away some opportunities, and so what do? You pick yourself right back up. You dust yourself off, and you get right back at it. And that's what these guys do. That's all we know how to do. And that's the greatest thing about playing sports, is you're going to get knocked down. It's going to happen. You got to get back up, and you got to learn from it and move on. And if we can learn from that, then we'll be better. We can't have that loss to cause us to lose another game. And these guys back out here Sunday after 2 days. We gave them Friday and Saturday to recover, and we call it a recover and recharge day. And then they were back in here Sunday and ready to go. And I anticipate the same energy level out there today at practice. So the response has been incredible. It is all about the response, because that's the only thing we can control. But we got great leadership on this team, and again, I expect nothing but a great response, as our coaches do as well.
When you say it was a good week of practice, what makes it a good week? What do you see on the field
Yeah.
that tells you?
Yeah, just the attention to details, the ability to be coachable. You put a plan in front of them, and you teach it in meetings, and then from there you take it on out to the field, and you challenge your young guys to step up, and you're able to do that. You watch the older guys coaching. We challenged Cortland and Trey and Justin to look, when you're not out there, we want to see you coaching. Jordan White was another one. We want to see you coaching and helping out with these young guys. And so, you just got a great feel. And to be real honest with you, Adam, when you look at all the practices that we've had since the 1st of August, and I know Coach Craddock would tell you this, and probably Coach Malone would tell you the same thing, we haven't had a bad practice. Our guys enjoy being here. They enjoy coming out to practice. They enjoy being around their coaches. They enjoy seeing the progress that we've made. So the message is that, look, this is who we are. This is our standard. You're going to adhere to our standard, or you're not going to be here. And our guys are great. I mean, they are. And I love them. And you hurt when they hurt, just like your own kids. But man, they're building something special here, and it really is one day at a time. And I know I say it all the time. It's coach speak or whatever. No, that's the way we live. That's literally the way our staff operates. That's the way our players operate. Is come out and be the best we can today. Let's figure everything that needs to be done today, and then the response of today will dictate what tomorrow looks like. And that's kind of what we are, and that's exactly who we are.
So before the bye, there were a few guys who got banged up, especially in the defensive secondary. Rodney, Jordan, Eric, Christian, they all dealt with some level of injury. How did they recover during this bye week? Do you think they're back to full strength?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think that opportunity, obviously Jordan played in the Houston game, so another week underneath him to get himself more healthy. He feels great. So he's back. Christian played in the Houston game, but was able to really work on some technique last week. Good. We expect to see Rodney's back out there. Again, just some bumps and bruises, but you know what? Everybody in the country has that. Everybody in the country has a sprained ankle or a strained calf or a hamstring tightness. Everybody has those things. It's called football. And being able to deal with that and move on and focus on, hey, look, I got to go to treatment. That's why we have trainers. I got to get myself mentally prepared to play. We don't use that as an excuse in this program. You either can play or you can't play. And if you're healthy and you've been cleared to play, then let's go. If you're not, then okay. We got another week underneath our belt. We got to get you healthy. But our guys have been great. We're able to get more back of a true. We haven't been as healthy as we are. Knock on wood. We haven't been as healthy as we have been since I've been here. Is where we are right now.
You mentioned the PATs and having missed too many this year. There's been 4 misses by Josh this year. Have you been able to identify a common denominator in all of that? Or?
You try to, and then there's a lot of different mindsets that go in when you deal with that, and so you just reconfirm your belief in him and what we're doing, and you assure up some things and some protection, and the hold, make sure that the snap to hold to kick is on time, and it's to our standard, and then at that point you can't worry about anything but make the kick, and so he's that's an area that he's working on and continues to work on. You got to put pressure on him in practice, and that's what we've done as well. So you know what, Adam, if you could figure that out, there's probably you'd probably be you'd be in high demand all across football across the country, from middle school all the way up to NFL.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, if you'll do that, let me know.